2 men down there.
Huh.
And he ran back upstairs and went in his bed. No one ever mentioned that. It's not on any police reports.
He
But
said he went back to his room and wet his bed.
No, he went back to his room and went back to
went
bed.
to bed. Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't on an initial police report. It was found later that he made that statement. That might be it.
Who's the other guy? Who's the other guy? Who might the other guy be?
No one has a name.
Okay.
He was just a regular patron of that restaurant. But no, supposedly.
Okay. It's a lie.
But anywhere it goes,
enough for them to investigate.
Yeah.
Something else, somebody else. Once this beloved court that you love, that these people are always this justice system that they live and die for. Once that threw your stuff out, go see who else it could be, or find more proof that it was that guy. But do something. Do something. My gosh. Ooh, that's
they don't care. I mean, after the Unsolved Mystery, after David Progress and Paul Hogan reported this, they gave it to the Cook County State's Attorney, who at the time was Jack O'Malley, and they investigated it, and they say, we don't have enough evidence to convict.
Goodness.
And then Jack O'Malley was defeated when he ran for re-election. And it was just like, fuck it.
Right.
And that's what we said today.
Oh, gosh.
A family fucking ruined. And even if today, if evidence points towards Timothy Guest, you can't arrest him because he died in 2002.
Okay, I was going to ask, what do we know? Do we have a where are they now type situation?
Yeah, Timothy Guest died in 2002. Her father, Jaclyn's biological father, is still in Florida. He initially said that Cynthia couldn't do this, and he later changed to, well, maybe they could do it. And he was just on television back in 2016, still blaming David and Cynthia. I was like, what happened to my little girl? I was like, why did you protect my little girl? I was like, why did you protect your little girl? Why were you in fucking prison for fucking sexual assault? Why were you a fuck up who was drunk and fucking hit his wife?
That sounds like some Donahue type stuff.
Where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were you questioning your brother?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, the Dowalibys able to rebuild some semblance of their life. They had another, like, during this thing, Cynthia found out when she was arrested, initially found out that she was pregnant, ended up having another girl.
Of course.
They moved out of state. I think they moved back into the state. I think they're 40 miles away from Midlothian for the last time I checked. I don't, leave them alone.
Tragic.
Been doing enough shit as it is. And
for
my
nobody
father's whereabouts are unknown.
Nobody.
Nope. And my father's whereabouts are unknown. I don't care.
Gotta be another episode, buddy.
Yeah.
Hold it together.
So, yeah, that was the story. That
my gosh.
Murder of Jaclyn Dowaliby and fucking over her family. The traumatizing of me. And I was sort of kind of involved in. With a couple of bombshells.
Yeah, there's a few. I was wondering, I was in my mind thinking, okay. I've listened to many shows. What makes this one weird? Yeah. That's what I always think about when I'm blessed to be on the mic with you. What makes this one weird? And I guess, the different ways to define weird, right?
Right.
It's weird that these folks in the legal system don't respect the legal system, number one. Number two, after they don't get their way, they seem to no longer be worried about doing their job.
Right.
And I guess number two, you have the property that the folks who committed this crime are right there in the front. They're not even
Mm-hmm.
front.
Right.
Um, and number three, my gosh, unsolved murder of a kid. And I'm sure it just made me think about how many more are there?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's all. That's weird is a word. Weird is
Yeah.
definitely a word that's good enough to use.
Mm-hmm. And added to the fact that this family was shattered not once but twice,
Yes.
three
Yeah.
times. Excuse
Absolutely.
me,
A few.
not once but twice, so three times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was shattered. The fact that their daughter was taken and found dead. The fact that the authorities and the media blamed them,
Yep.
and added the fact that they were able to overcome that. They found that the truth was put out. They were exonerated, and the fact that they ended up because they heard Timothy guesses pretty much it was confession.
Jesus Christ. That just
And
makes me mad.
mm-hmm,
Very mad.
mm-hmm. And nothing's been done. Nothing's been done.
Right.
And they've been screwed over three times. And this happens again and again and again and again in this country. Hell, it happens all across the world. You hear about it every day. People being railroaded by the system. People with no money. Like I said at the beginning of the show, there's a difference between yes, there's similarities between this case, Jaclyn Dowaliby, and the JonBenet Ramsey case, but there's one main difference between them: the fact that the Ramseys had money and power, and the Dowalibys did not.
Yep, absolutely.
And it happens.
Same case.
Same case. Damn near same case. Hell, probably. What's the case? Even though true crime is not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what's the thing if this killer struck again 9 years later? What is 9 years later? It's killer struck again. What was the same thing? Except for this time, it's not going to end up with them blaming the parents. Well, them arresting the parents. They still blame the parents. Them arresting the parents because these people have money and these people know people in power. So they're keeping their butt out of jail.
Terrible. And it happens often. So, I mean, it happens when somebody's found guilty of some stuff. And then the punishment is time served.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just this is a society that we live in.
Like there's two, like true crime is fun, but there's a dark side, which is the foremost reality. There are two systems in this country. There's the system for the rich, and there's the system for everyone else.
For sure.
The working class, everyone else, the working class. And the fact that this happens over and over and over and over and over again, it's just we're not lying when we go out there and say, hey, shit's going on. We ain't doing it for our fucking health.
Right.
But but this family was able to persevere. They were going to overcome. They had people in their corner. They had people. There was that helped them out, and they try to move on as best as they can with their lives. And even though this podcast is if they happen to hear it, bringing up bad memories, if they get through morning, whatever. But you know, if I could do my best to help get some justice and maybe some closure, and then it's good. I mean, I had to do this because this fundamentally changed. Even how delighted changed my life because it was after that, like my mom was freaking out doing this stuff. And not only the fact that she didn't want to live in an apartment no more, wanted a house, wanted to pursue the American dream. She was scared for me and my brother. Like, what if because she didn't know the Dowaliby. She didn't know anyone associated with the fucking Dowalibys. What if they want to get revenge against my father by doing something to me or my brother?
Right. Or just continue to target children.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I understand that.
We got the hell out of there, and then shortly after that, and then finding out why my father was out until 2:00 in the damn morning, and then that was the end of the fucking parents' marriage.
And
it fucking still affects me to this fucking day and shit.
It always does. It always does.
And I'll be honest, like especially when that stuff was going on with my mother and my father, I kind of blamed it the Wallabies. I was like, if y'all had fucking woken up, yeah, I was like young and stupid. Like if y'all had fucking woken up and goddamn found your and make sure your kid was safe, we this would never fucking come out.
Understandable.
But it was
that's
like
the thing too. All the folks that were involved. I mean, most of them they were kids. The victim was a kid. Mm-hmm. They took it took evidence from kids and the people who saw these folks. A lot of them were kids, and the only adults were the ones that were either blamed for the crime or likely committed it. Hell.
Mm-hmm. And it took years in retrospect to realize it was just like, no, that's not the case. This family had they're this family had nothing to do with my father's actions. This family was going through their own pain, and we're going through ours, and their pain is more exponentially greater, but it's still pain.
It's rough,
and it shouldn't have to have gone through that.
Absolutely,
because the actions of someone else. So, and if it wasn't for Paul Hogan, the late Paul Hogan, ended up passing away a couple of years after, like in 1983, and David Promise, who helped set up the Innocence Project, and is a great professor at Northwestern School of Journalism, and the people who, their family and their neighbors and friends, David would still probably be in jail for something he didn't do. And there's hundreds of people who are in, thousands of people are in jail for something they did not do.
Yeah.
And at least you have the Citizens Project and the journalism school at Northwestern and other colleges, because that's another thing that's gone. There's no hardly any investigative journalism done in the media now, the mainstream media.
Right.
Everyone's just taking everything at face value instead of going out and doing investigating journalism. Yeah, there's still somewhat investigating journalism with channel like the Chicago channels, channel WGN, ABC, but they're like fluff pieces and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's not investigating journalism. You went inside an ice cream shop and told me that the ice cream is cold. I already knew that. In independent media, there's some investigative journalism out there, but people are questioning it from like, is a left wing bent, a right wing bent, other than just telling me what the truth is.
Right. Absolutely.
But hey, what? That's it.
Yeah.
So
that was quite a story.
Yeah, that was the.
A lot of weirdness. Didn't disappoint there, buddy.
Yeah. I thank you very much for,
of course,
doing this, especially at the last minute. This is
you're welcome.
Ogul and other engagements. So
but Ogul? You owe me money.
Well, if this thing, honestly, the episodes that you are my highest rated, highest downloaded.
Look at that.
So yeah, might have to replace Ogul. It's like, all right, this is your perfect.
Coming for you, man. Coming for your spot.
Yes. But again, Lorrell, thank you. And where can they find you if people can find you?
Oh gosh, if I'm not running fast enough and you catch me, check out this Twitter at Kilpatrick LD, KILPATR LD, doing some talking about some Northwest Indiana politics, disability rights stuff, talking mess to people, talking about this Indiana situation, all this kind of stuff.